Hello, and welcome to the Freshman Family Meeting for Parents. We're so glad that you could join us. I'm Dr. Christy Hammond. I am a caseload counselor at Atlee High School.
And my name is Shannon Edwards. I'm the career counselor here at Atlee High School, and I work with all students in grade levels 9 through 12.
So let's get started by just making sure that you are aware of everyone on our team. As you can see, our caseload is divided by the alphabet, and we have 5 counselors on our team, as well as Mrs. Edwards, our career counselor, and Mrs. Whitaker, our intervention counselor.
So to just get us started today, we would just want to provide you with a quick overview of the counseling services that we provide to your students here at Atlee. We do work with students in all 3 domains: academic, career, and personal and social counseling. And we cover areas such as individual and small group counseling. And when looking at just these particular areas, you can kind of see the different types of counseling that we will provide to students, not just in freshman year, but also through the course of their years here at Atlee High School. So in their later years, we certainly work with them in senior interviews and helping them prepare for post-secondary planning for beyond high school, as well as some of those other areas that you see there for post-secondary planning. We also do academic advising every year in working with students and helping them to determine their academic and career planning, crisis counseling, of course, any kind of anxiety and stress management. We're working with students in that, and then study skills and academic success. And then also, again, back to small group counseling, we will work with students and offer small groups throughout the year on a variety of topics. We also do classroom guidance counseling or classroom lessons. We do those virtually this school year, and we meet with all grade levels, again, on a variety of topics related to any type of classroom guidance. And then we also do parent workshops for all grade levels as well. And those also are virtual this year, virtual family workshops. And we will meet with students really based on, or provide information to families really based on where that particular grade level or class is in terms of their academic and career planning on all of those different areas that you see listed there.
So let's take a look at what the requirements are for the class of 2024. With both the standard and the advanced diploma, students have to take 4 credits of English. So that's English 9, 10, 11, and 12. The next difference comes in for the standard diploma, a student would have to have 3 credits in math, science, and history each. And then for the advanced diploma, they have to have 4 credits each in those different subject areas. So basically 1 each year. Both diploma requirements include 2 years of health and PE. All students have to take the econ and personal finance class. For the standard diploma, a student has to have 2 fine art or CTE electives, as well as 4 other electives, and 2 of those have to be sequential, meaning there's a part 1 and a part 2. So that might be art 1 and art 2. It might be Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. Intro to business and or principles of business marketing, and then marketing. For the advanced diploma, the difference there is that a student has to have 3 years of a world language or 2 years of 2 languages. So that could be 2 years of Spanish and 2 years of French. They have to have 1 fine art or CTE elective, as well as 3 other electives, 2 of which have to be sequential, for a total of 22 credits for the standard diploma and 26 for the advanced diploma.
So then kind of going right along with that and looking at the verified credits that students need for graduation, for both the standard and the advanced diplomas, all students do need a total of 5 verified credits in order to graduate. So that encompasses 2 English verified credits, that's both reading and writing, and then 1 math from any of those 3 areas that you see there, Algebra 1, Geometry, or Algebra 2. 1 science verified credit, biology, chemistry, and earth science. And then finally 1 history verified credit, World History 1, World History 2, U.S. History, or Modern Global Studies. Again, a verified credit is just simply the student taking and passing the class, the student taking and passing the SOL, And when you do both of those and put that together, that's what equals a verified credit. Students must take one advanced placement, honors, or IB course, or earn a career mission credential. Is simply when a student will take the econ and personal finance class, and then as part of that course, they take the WISE assessment, which is typically given to students at the end of that course. And if they take that, then that will earn them a career and technical education credential. But also, students can take any of our skill-based classes typically. Dr. Hammond, what are a few of those skill-based classes that students can take here?
And earn a credential.
Mm-hmm.
They could take, if they did the turf grass class or the advanced turf grass class, it could be any of the trade school classes, so the culinary arts, electricity, auto mechanics, any of the ones, electricity, any of the ones that are there. You can also earn a CTE credential in our business classes as well.
So again, that will kind of encompass the career and technical education credential.
All right, so looking at the GPA and which classes earn how many points or credits, points. If you are taking an advanced placement, so an AP class, if you are in one of our dual enrollment classes, so for instance, we do the college class through Reynolds, or if you're in one of the international baccalaureate or IB classes, you earn 1 extra point towards your GPA. So in a class, one of those classes, if you got an A, instead of it being worth 4 GPA points, it's worth 5 GPA points. If you are taking an advanced or pre-IB class, that is also weighted, but it is not fully weighted. You get a 0.5 points towards your GPA total there. So that's something that's really important to kind of keep in mind. And you can see in our program of studies, which is linked there at the bottom, the different weights for the different classes, whether it's a full extra weight or a partial weight, but you can see all of those there.
Then this just kind of gives you, again, a very high-level look at GPA assignments for students that have taken courses September 2017 and thereafter. So you can see all the different weightings, as Dr. Hammond was just saying a moment ago, and then what those. So if you got an A in in an AP course or an IB course. So an A would equal a 5.0 additional weighted credit versus a 4.0 if you were not in an IB or an AP course. So it just gives you, again, a look at what all those different weightings would be. And you can kind of take that into consideration when looking at GPA and calculating GPA and things of that nature. And again, we are on a 10-point grading scale.
So a lot of times we're asked about students taking the SAT in their preparation for college applications. As you can see, College Board, the company that offers the SAT, also offers the PSAT. This is taken and it's given here in Hanover County Public Schools for our 9th graders and our 11th graders. So they actually just took that within the last couple of weeks. So it's kind of a preparation for taking the actual SAT test. So it's, it kind of gives you, a little bit of a baseline. It gives you an idea of what to expect so that you go into the test and that you are prepared.
So you can access, and certainly we do recommend for you to access your scores online through College Board. So we provide the link there to do that. You do need to make sure that you're using the account information that the student actually signed up with so that you can access their scores. But College Board really has a lot of great resources related to PSAT and SAT testing. So we highly recommend that you do go to the collegeboard.org website to kind of read more about the test and look at all of the resources available for students and parents trying to find out more information and gain knowledge in those areas. And of course, talking with your school counselor as well.
And continuing along the lines of SAT prep, there are a couple of different options that we highly suggest that you look into. As we said, College Board has some wonderful practice tests that you can use. College Board is also partnered with Khan Academy. It will offer free personalized SAT prep. So what your student can do is they can log into their College Board account and their Khan Academy account once they've created it, and they can send first their PSAT scores and then later their SAT scores to Khan Academy. And as I said, Khan Academy creates personalized prep on the areas that need to be strengthened. It's an amazing resource. It's something that we highly recommend. And even once they've taken one SAT, we would suggest still sending those scores to prep for the second testing session. And then students, we suggest that you would sign up to take the SATs or ACTs no later than spring of your junior year. And we suggest that you take it at least twice because research has shown that scores generally go up the second time around. If for no other reason, then you know what to expect. You kind of know what you're going into. But we also suggest you don't take it any more than 3 times. And then just kind of the difference is the SAT test focuses on students' general application of skills that they've learned in classes, whereas ACT is content-based. For instance, there's a science section that isn't on the SAT, so it's what they've directly learned in class.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about, how can my child be successful here at Atlee with kind of starting off their high school career, and then we'll move into just different techniques that your child can use in order to set themselves up for success. So we would say most certainly the number one thing is to stay connected, especially in the virtual world that we are in right now. Really want to make sure that you are signed up as a parent through eConnect. Also, our Power School Parent Portal. All of the students' grades are available on that, their courses, other important information related to their grades. And then certainly through Schoology. We send out several updates, not just from the school counseling department, certainly from Dr. Wheeler, from other groups and organizations within the high school, send both eConnect and Schoology messages. So please make sure that you get yourself signed up for those if you're not already. And then really to just start off their high school career, we do encourage that students kind of take the lead here and that you really support them and back them up as well as we do and provide that guidance to students as they kind of move into this place in their lives where they are taking more of a leadership role and taking more of a role in just taking control kind of what their future is going to look like, of course, with our guidance and assistance along the way. So really just starting that process. And then finally, really make sure that you're communicating, that the student is really communicating with their teachers regularly with any questions or concerns that they might have. Certainly as a parent, you could certainly do that as well, but we really encourage for the student to kind of take that first step of ownership just to get them used to being in that position and being able to advocate for themselves.
All right, so looking now at what can my child do to be successful? So continuing along that line of what can your child do to be successful? First, we're going to look at what is their organizational method? How do they organize their materials? How do they prepare themselves for class, for studying, for all those different pieces of their academic life?
So we're going to first start with kind of thinking about what as a student, what works best for you? And as we all know, everybody is truly different. But maybe you want to look at having one large binder with dividers for each class that you're in. Maybe you have a notebook for each subject for each A or B day that you have. And then maybe looking at multiple subject notebooks for each day. So there's many different ways to organize yourselves, but really starting out with those skills now, if they're not already in place for your student and just kind of seeing what works for them. So really we would just say, talk to your student and kind of say, see what might be an option for them. If you need ideas on that, please certainly talk with us and consult with us as their school counselors as well. At me as their career counselor, we would love to help with that, but really find out what works best for them to help them start off on a good foot now. Time management tools. There's a lot of ways to keep time and kind of keep yourself organized as far as that goes. Do you have an agenda or a planner? I know many students in prior years have had or were used to having an agenda. Well, if that worked then for them, then maybe that's something to try in high school as well. Do they use Google Calendar? So much is done online through Google now. Also through their classes, through Schoology, so maybe keeping track of things that way. Also, meetings can be scheduled through Google, as you all know, as well as a variety of other tasks. So maybe looking at that. Do they have a smartphone or tablet, and can they create time management tools on that for themselves? So just looking again at what are all the options out there and what will work best for them.
Going back to the calendar that we just discussed a second ago, there's a variety of different topics or groups of things that you're going to want to make sure is on your calendar. Looking kind of at the academic first. What's their weekly homework assignments? What's coming up so that students can look ahead and know, this weekend I need to devote some extra time to this class or work on this paper. You also want to know if you have a job. Make sure you know what your work schedule is and put it in your calendar as soon as you can. So that way you can plan accordingly. And make sure that you talk to your manager ahead of time if there's time that you need to have off. So maybe, you have a bunch of assignments due one day or, over the course of a couple of days, and you know that you're going to need extra time. So talk to your manager ahead of time. If you do extracurricular activities, make sure that you have any practices or games that are put into your calendar, again, so that you can manage your time and plan accordingly. And then also make sure that you have fun in there. Life shouldn't all just be work, work, work. You need to balance that with, doing fun things as well to replenish yourself. So make sure that you put school events in there or friends' birthdays, or if you're going to a game or on a trip, make sure that those events are all in there too, so that you can kind of see an overview of how much time do I need to devote to each of these things and what do I need to do, if there's something I need to do differently or make adjustments.
So making a to-do list, maybe you need to 2 times a day, plan out what your morning looks like, plan out what your afternoon looks like, plan out maybe what your day looks like from the school day, and then what your evening should look like in terms of, the schoolwork that you need to take care of. So really just getting in that habit of planning ahead. We can't stress enough how important that is, especially in high school, with all the different subject areas and homework and tests, quizzes, things of that nature that students will be taking on. Prioritize, looking at, okay, these are the must things that I must get done today. These are the things that I'd like to get done, but it's okay if they have to be pushed to tomorrow because these are my priorities today. We all know you can't do everything in one day, but certainly planning and prioritizing ahead of time will help students be just more prepared for what's to come and less stressed overall. And then finally, thinking about how do you decide what is most important? And those are just things that for students, they need to start thinking about, and that ultimately will help them to prioritize their day and what they need to do and what they need to get done. And certainly to-do lists are a great way to do that.
So looking at homework, which is a part of every student's life, we have a fun video here for you. It's got some really great tips about organization, about studying, setting up your space, a lot of different ideas. So maybe, you might look at some of the things and say, oh, no, that definitely wouldn't work for me. But you might also see some things in there that you're like, oh, hey, that might be a really good fit for me. So we would suggest take a look at the video, try out some of the ideas a couple of times to see what works as well as what doesn't work for you, and then you can make adjustments from there. The final thing that we would like to draw your attention to is the Education Expo. This is where both students and parents can learn about some of the educational programs that are available to them and some of the different pathways. As you can see, we have a variety of options. There's a specialty center for health sciences at Hanover High School. There is the Advanced College Academy program through Reynolds. There's the Hanover Center for Trades and Technology, as well as the IB program, the AP program, the Governor's School, and then Code RBA. And those are all linked to their websites if you'd like to get more information about those.
And then finally, we just want to say, number one, thank you so much for listening today for our Freshman Parent Workshop. We're very happy to be able to share that information with you. If you do have questions about any of the content or information that we shared today, please do reach out to your school counselor, your child's school counselor. Please reach out to myself, your child's career counselor, as we are happy to help to clarify any information or answer any questions that you might have. So we appreciate your time. Thank you for being here, and we will be keeping in touch. Thank you.